All right, thanks for being with us. I know we're a couple of minutes late here as we get going at this press conference to talk about a big event happening this weekend. My name's Ian Schuring. I work as the Deputy Director of Communications for the City and County of Honolulu. Again, major event happening this weekend, one that we're all very excited about as we pay tribute to the late, great Fiji. An event this size, I think everybody who's here has reported on the fact that we're expecting potentially 20, 25,000, maybe more people to descend on the Waikīkī Shell on Kapi Park this weekend. Obviously a very large event. The city's primary concern, our primary focus on any event that size, regardless of the circumstances, is on public safety. And so that is the primary message we want to get across today. So this event is going on. We're going to tell you all about the steps that we're taking to ensure that everybody who comes to the Shell, to Kapi Park on Saturday to pay tribute to Fiji can do so in a safe manner, an enjoyable manner, and that everybody goes home safe and sound at the end of the night. So to that end, I'm going to introduce right off the top everybody who's here who's going to speak a little bit about what their departments are doing. I'm going to introduce some of the promoters, the organizers of the concert, to speak on their behalf. We're going to start off with the Managing Director, Mr. Mike Formby. He's going to speak first. I'll next introduce Major Cliff Ramson, who is a member of the Honolulu Police Department's Major Events Division. They handle major events, concerts, things where there's going to be lots of people the way we expect this weekend. Next, we'll bring up Dita Holyfield. She's the Director of the Department of Enterprise Services, which manages the Waikīkī Shell, the Neil S. Blaisdell Center, all of our city golf courses. She'll talk about things that are contained here inside the Shell. After that, we'll bring up Laura Thielen, the Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, who can speak a little to the event as it pertains to Kapiolani Park. John Nouchi, the Deputy Director of the Department of Transportation Services, is here to talk about public transportation. As we said, potentially 25,000 people or more here. We're going to encourage everyone who is coming to these grounds on Saturday to utilize public transportation as best as possible. Traffic, we expect, is going to be an issue. And then we'll bring up Ian Santee, who's the Deputy Director of the Honolulu Emergency Services Department, who can talk about the city's response from a paramedic, emergency medical response perspective. And then finally, we're really glad to have some of the organizers of the event here. After we go through the city folks, we'll bring up Tautua Reed, Mike Galmiche, who are here, are going to represent the concert. So on that note, I'd like to bring up Mike Formby, the Managing Director of the City and County of Honolulu, and he'll kick things off.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning, everyone. Mike Formby, I just wanted to sort of set the tone for this press conference. I wanted everyone to know that we're trying to be completely transparent about this event that has been celebrated by the community, a Fiji tribute concert. The Shell was booked according to rules and regulations, so this event here in the Shell is completely as would be normally planned and expected. What the city perhaps didn't know was that the demand for this show was going to be so overwhelming that there would be a large spillover into the park. But what we're not doing, and that's the tone I want to set, the tickets have been distributed. We're not coming here today to point the finger at the sponsors, the promoters, the organizers. We've already had those tough conversations about the way the city does business. We're not here to do that today. We're here to make sure that this event, which we think will be a great event, is done efficiently, and most importantly, it respects the public health and safety of the attendees and the local community. So we've got all the departments here that can tell you the hard work that they've been doing with the sponsors, the promoters, and the organizers, because we have been meeting and we've agreed on how to execute this plan, and I'm convinced that we're going to get it done. But this is not a blame game, so I hope you listen to the departments today, ask any questions that you have, and at the end, you're welcome to ask the sponsors, promoters, and organizers how this came to be. Thank you very much.
Aloha, and thank you all for being here today. Once again, my name is Clifford Ramson. I'm a major with the Honolulu Police Department's Major Events Division, and I've been appointed as the incident commander in charge of an incident management team charged with planning and running this event. Now, the Honolulu Police Department is proud to support this special event and work closely with our city partners and ensure a safe and meaningful tribute to Fiji. Our top priority is making sure that everyone can enjoy the event safely. HPD, in close collaboration with the Honolulu Incident Management Team, has been coordinating with city officials, first responders, and event organizers for weeks in preparation for this large gathering. Now, Kapiolani Park is an open space that presents unique challenges for safety and security. Consequently, we'll have a strong police presence throughout the event, doing everything we can to maintain a safe and secure environment for all. We also ask the public to kokua by following instructions and looking out for one another. Now, no parking signs will be posted 48 to 72 hours before the event date, with the following restrictions effective from 11 p.m. on September 12th through 11 p.m. on September 13th. Kapahulu Avenue, from Paki Avenue to Kalakaua Avenue, no parking on both sides of the road. Montserrat Avenue, from Kalakaua Avenue to Paki Avenue, no parking on both sides of the road. And Leahi Avenue, from Noella Street to Kapahulu Avenue, no parking on both sides of the road. Now, Paki Avenue in an eastbound direction from Kapahulu Avenue to Kalakaua Avenue and Kalakaua Avenue to Montserrat Avenue will be closed off to public access starting at approximately 5 p.m. And this is to facilitate first responder access. Park rules will be strictly enforced, including prohibitions on alcohol and illegal drone usage. We strongly encourage the use of alternative transportation, carpooling, and mostly remember no drinking and driving. We highly recommend ride-share services. Parking will be limited and strictly enforced to ensure access for emergency vehicles. Shuttle services will operate from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., running between the Neo Blaisdell Center and the Shell, with pickup and drop-off occurring fronting the Shell on Montserrat Avenue. And we'll be utilizing approximately 25 shuttles that will be made available to the public for these purposes. E-bikes must comply with all traffic and safety rules. Enforcement action will be taken as deemed necessary. Please plan ahead, arrive early. More importantly, expect delays. Be patient and follow the directions of traffic control officers. This weekend will be busy with several major events taking place across the island. If you prefer to avoid the crowds, I know I do, we encourage you to enjoy the live stream from home. It's a great way to participate in the tribute while helping to reduce traffic and parking congestion. Whether you attend in person or watch remotely, please look out for one another, especially our keiki and kupuna, and let's celebrate with aloha, respect, and safety in mind. Mahalo to everyone for helping us make this a safe and memorable night. Thank you.
Aloha, everybody. I'm Dina Holyfield. I'm the Director of Enterprise Services. It's such an honor to be here today. I wanted to acknowledge the team of DES, Elizabeth Ishihara, Head of Auditoriums, Ke'ala Awana, Head of Building Services, and my deputy, Jocelyn Doan. Together, we have worked many, many hours feverishly to present the best possible scenario for the guests that will be at the Waikīkī Shell. And I also wanted to acknowledge the promoters and what a great job they have done working with me and our team and being as innovative as they could be under the circumstances, with all 8,100 seats taken up in just 3 seconds. It is an honor to be able to host this free event for the public at the Waikīkī Shell, the Tom Moffat Waikīkī Shell, to honor the life of Fiji, who loved to perform here at the Waikīkī Shell. Our doors are going to open at 4 p.m. Music and sound. The event starts at 5 p.m. and the performances will start at 5:30 p.m. We will end promptly at 9:45 p.m. You must have a ticket to enter, and once, if you do leave, you will not be allowed back in. You will not be allowed re-entry. There will be no taking of alcohol out of the show, and there will be private security and off-duty police within the Tom Moffat Waikīkī Shell. Just the standard rules will always apply, and you can see our website. Attendees are encouraged to be patient and arrive with aloha in mind, especially as you're trying to exit, because there will be people everywhere outside the shell. So if you're going to be inside, be ready that you won't be able to exit immediately. And again, please be patient and serve with aloha. Parking, there's no specific Waikīkī Shell parking, and as I understand, there will barely be any parking anywhere. So again, to other speakers, please, there will be bus transportation. We'll be talking about rideshare and Uber. Please take the necessary requirements it takes for you to arrive safely and have a plan to exit and leave as well. And lastly, the city ordinance sets the sound levels here at the Waikīkī Shell. The law does not allow the sound to exceed 68 dBAs for more than 10% of the time. We will be taking sound requirements inside the Waikīkī Shell as well as a designated area outside to ensure that people in the community are all treated the very same way we do every single Shell concert. Mahalo for being here today, and mahalo to the promoters for thinking of the Waikīkī Shell to honor Fiji.
Aloha, I'm Laura Thielen, the Director of the City and County Department of Parks and Recreation. As you heard, the tickets for the Shell sold out in mere minutes, and so an additional 20,000 tickets that were free were open to the public for park area in Kapi Park. We have been working with the promoters to make sure that the location that is going to be set aside in the park for the people with the free tickets to the concert does not interfere with any existing permitted activities that are going on in other areas of the park. We will also be having a park permit have the exact same sound restrictions that are used at the Waikīkī Shell for any broadcast and showing of the permit of the concert within the park area. We're making sure that the barricades are set up with sufficient entrances and exits to be safe for the people that are there. There will be vendors outside the barricades, and then we're working with the promoters to make sure that we have a sufficient number of porta potties, dumpsters for garbage, garbage cans. The promoters are going to be gifting to the city the cost for us to have plumbers overtime at the facilities to make sure that we can keep them open, and additional groundskeeping staff. And then the promoters are going to be also providing additional custodial staff to make sure that the facilities are stocked, cleaned, and pumped for the public. So you're welcome to come down to the park and bring your family and bring a picnic and enjoy the concert. But please do remember, as we said earlier, parking is going to be extremely limited and challenging. There is no alcohol, that does include beer, and there's also no smoking or vaping of any substances. So if you want to enjoy the concert and imbibe, please stay home and go to our friends and watch the live stream and enjoy it in comfort, and then you know you won't have to use the porta potties as well. Thank you for your time.
Aloha, John Nouchi, Deputy Director, Department of Transportation Services. And there could be no more fitting way to honor Fiji, who performed on the stage many times. I can picture all the birthday bashes and things through the years. So I wanted to kind of kick it off by having a reminder in Fiji's words. We've been together a while, and I don't mean to cramp your style. Sometimes I wonder just how things happen this way, and I'm just thinking about that one whole night that we will spend. And I don't mean to cramp your style, but I do want to make sure that when everybody arrives here, thinking about how you're going to get here and how you're going to leave here, that we do everything with a spirit of safety and a spirit of aloha and a spirit of respect. So Saturday, September 13th, will be, as everyone has said before, an unusually busy day in Honolulu on this island with this tribute concert, with a UH football game in Manoa, and with the Megabone activity happening at Leeward Community College in Pearl City. So again, we ask everybody for respect, to respect the parking controls that will be in place, that HPD did specify there. And there aren't going to be any magical parking spaces to be found around this park. So if you don't need to drive here, we want to encourage everyone to consider using transit. We have a lot of services that come here on the bus. We have bus routes E, 2, 8, 13, 14, 20, 42, and 200, which really covered most of urban Honolulu, but also take you as far as the west side, Waipahu and Ewa. Also encourage the use of rideshare, and also your 2 feet can get you closer and into the Shell and Kapi Park. Also consider biking, biki, e-bikes, but please do it safely. Again, if everyone travels with Aloha on this unprecedented weekend of celebration, we just want everyone to be able to arrive here safely, have a great time, honor the great man Fiji, and then most importantly, get home safely afterwards. DTS will be boots on the ground here, coordinating lockstep with our first responders to make sure that we are managing traffic to the best of our ability via our Joint Traffic Management Center and different personnel on the ground here. Aloha.
Aloha, good morning. Again, my name is Ian Santi. I am the Deputy Director of the Honolulu Emergency Services Department. We are the individuals that provide medical care throughout the island of Oahu for 911 services, and we've been working with the promoters to ensure a safe event. As those who have spoken before me, everybody is here about the safety. We want to ensure the public that we have a safe plan, and we will be responding to the medical emergencies here. We've worked with the promoters. There is a private first aid company that's doing first aid on site, but we will also have EMS on site. So it is going to be a hot day. Make sure we have our water, our sunscreen, find appropriate shade. If you do need our services, you can either go to a first aid tent or you can call 911. We will be here for the entire time of the event, and we want to make sure everybody goes home safe, and we all want to make sure that we do our part to keep ourselves safe and go home safely. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Tautula Reed, event promoter. I just want to touch base on the reason why we're here. It's to celebrate a man who meant so much to us. He's a fallen hero in the industry, and hundreds of artists came together that he influenced, that he shaped, and everybody came together to celebrate this night, and it means a lot to the estate, to the family, and to everybody. I just want to say mahalo to the city and county, to all of the sponsors, the partnerships, everybody that came through Hawaiian Airlines, Outrigger. It's an amazing sight to see this entire island come together for one man and what he meant to everyone. So just want to say mahalo. Thank you.
Aloha, I'm Mike Galmichi, the production manager for this event. I'm working with various companies from lighting, staging, audio, cameras, video walls to put this event together. We have hundreds of staff contributing their time and resources to make sure this event is amazing and the production is top notch. Thank you. Oh, and also this event will be live streamed free of charge, so you can stay home, comfort of your own home. You can also throw watch parties as if you're watching the Super Bowl from the comfort of your own home, and you don't have to deal with the traffic. So that is a great option. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. At this time, we'd like to bring our promoters back up. We have our representatives from the city here as well, and we'll open it up to any questions from the media about the event that the promoters can speak to, or about the city's response that our city staff can speak to.
Yes, hi, Kimber KITV here. Question about weapons. Is there going to be metal detectors or anything with police in the crowd, or to make sure that this is safe and no weapons are here on property?
Okay, speaking on regarding the area outside of the Shell, the larger park area, there's not going to be weapon screening per se, but we do have a large amount of resources that we've deployed strategically throughout the park, outside the park, in the surrounding areas, in areas that we deem where we'd be able to get a quick response should something occur. So yeah, we've put a lot of planning into that. Like I said, a lot of resources, both plainclothes and uniformed assets, traffic control points, crowd management. So yeah, we have that in consideration. As far as screening though, outside of the Shell, there's not going to be any screening. Thank you.
I want to ask anyone from the city or HPD, the Shell having a capacity of 8,500 people with upwards of 30,000 people expected, that is a massive overflow. My question is, how was the overflow space approved? And if there's no metal detectors, how will that perimeter for the overflow crowd be secured?
Well, the Honolulu Police Department supported, once a decision was made to proceed with the event, we went ahead and provided the needed support and what we view as the necessary support. Other agencies and city leadership had a hand in a decision to utilize the overflow area. But once that occurred, HPD was able to provide the necessary resources, both in terms of staffing and resources to provide any potential any issue to deal with any issues that may occur. As far as the perimeter of the park, there's going to be some fencing, is my understanding, and HPD will be able to provide crowd management in terms of the perimeter. So, yeah, that's from our perspective.
Thank you. So the park itself is open to the public and will remain open to the public. We did identify a location where there can be barricades placed just for crowd control. They will be open. We're working with the Honolulu Fire Department to make sure that people will have access in and out and enough entry areas for it to be safe. But we often will have an event within a park where that particular area for the event may be cordoned off for the attendees. Anybody who did not get a ticket for that perimeter area would be free and welcome to come on into any other area of the park. They still will be able to see the screens. We have the speakers aligned in a direction mimicking the Shell speakers, and again, subject to the same decibel and noise level limitations that are in the Shell. And we have talked to the promoters that in the event there are fewer people than show up than the 20,000 expected with the tickets, it is possible to open up that barricaded area where other people can also set up. But there will be areas where people can see, sit down and watch the screens outside of the barricaded area.
Yeah, and to that question, I hope you make a distinction between the park area that's open to everyone, typical Saturday, Sunday event, and the barricaded area that will be set aside for the ticket holders. And I'll let Mike come up and speak to the process they're going to go through to make sure that the ticket holders who access the barricaded area, in fact, do not have weapons and alcohol and things of that nature.
Yeah, so we will be conducting bag checks at all entry points, security bag checks. And we also did measure the perimeter of the barricaded area to accommodate upwards to 30,000 people, and on the outskirts, an additional 20,000 people. Not saying that that's the amount we're expecting, but just to give you an idea, the park can accommodate a lot of people. Thank you.
It sounds like there's going to be a massive amount of personnel from the city that's helping with this. I'm curious to know how many extra are being brought in on overtime, and what is this going to cost? And who's going to be paying for this?
So there was a lot of requests made of the departments, but it varies by department. So I'll let the sponsors come up and tell you the discussions that we've had with the various departments and the resources that they've committed to make sure that this is safe for the community and for the attendees. And I'll also add that it's not like the city doesn't have a role here. We do. This event, the tickets were issued, they were distributed, and once that happens, we have an obligation to make sure that the general public, the community, people that are driving, people that are coming via transit, that they're protected and they can do so safely. So it's not like it's one side and not the other. We have a commitment as well. But the sponsors have agreed to pay for certain things that are being brought forth as resources by department, and they can share that information with you.
Yeah, so some of these sponsors include Hawaiian Airlines, who came in with 50 plus airline tickets to support our artists flying in. Outriggers Resorts and Hotels, 604 Restaurant Group providing the catering, and Matson, we had shipping coming in from some production items, and Matson came through. Aloha Freight came in. Some of the Teamster Union drivers have been donating their time to support this event. Hawaii Stage and Lighting has come in. So everybody, it's all full hands on deck with almost every major company on the island to support this event.
I got a question for the first responders, HPD, EMS. with this event and Megabon also happening, that is a lot of resources. How much stress is being put on your departments, and how many essentially hands on deck will you have for the entire island?
Well, I don't want to get into specific numbers regarding this event, obviously for operational reasons. I don't want to divulge that, but suffice it to say that I think we have sufficient resources on hand. This has been planned out for the last couple of weeks, so and it is also a multi-agency event within this area. So we have partners from the state, partners from the federal agencies as well. We did know about the other events far in advance, so those districts, as far as the police department was concerned, were able to plus up their staffing and, for lack of a better, be prepared for any possible outcomes elsewhere outside of the Waikīkī area. But also, we've also brought in enough resources on hand where we're able to not just take care of this event specifically, but any possible spillover into Waikīkī or the surrounding areas. So we're really a resource, not just for this event specifically, but also the surrounding districts. Should police services, should there be a strain on police services, we have those resources on hand to assist as well. Yeah.
Anybody else?
So as far as EMS goes, again, we're providing our continued daily service for the entire island. Those, again, as Major said, that these events, the other events came in ahead of time, so we do have resources applied over to the Megabon as well as the resources over here. We will be continuing to provide our regular 911 service. This event is an additional services that we're providing for it, so we're able to manage that right now.
And to the question, I do want to clarify that to the extent that we have brought in additional resources to make sure that this event is safe, the sponsors, promoter, and organizers are paying for those additional resources. So for HPD, we have a large number of special duty officers that are being paid for by the Fiji Tribute Concert, and also for the Department of Parks and Recreation. So Laura Thielen can speak to the resources that we brought in, both tangible and personnel, and what they are going to be covering.
So Kapi'olani Park is one of our parks where we do have a dedicated staff. So the staff that were already assigned to be working that day will work. The promoters will be gifting the city the cost of overtime of additional staff. And that will include some licensed plumbers as well as grounds maintenance. They are being required under the permit to bring in the porta potties and then also to provide professional custodial staff to be able to, at their expense, provide the maintenance, the rubbish removal, the dumpsters to put the rubbish in. They will be required after the concert is over to remove the 4 rubbish bins. They also are being required on Sunday morning to come back to the park before the permitted activities occur, starting at 8 a.m. So they will be there early Sunday morning, making sure all the rubbish is picked up, everything is removed from the soccer fields, the softball fields, and the rest of the park. And then they will be power washing the comfort station and surrounding areas as well.
Again, and you touched on it earlier a little bit, but again, why choose the Waikīkī Shell, knowing that probably could have gotten a much larger venue? And then, again, personally, why is it so important that we honor him? And then also, I guess, are you surprised by the turnout, by the response?
Hello, everyone. Kuhio Lewis. I'm one of the supporting partners. That's a great question. You know, Fiji has been an instrumental part of Hawaii's music industry. There's a lot of the artists that we recognize today that have really connected with Fiji, and they are where they are today because of him. And so to honor him in this place, this is where he had his stardom. This is where he started. This is where his journey began. We felt it was important to have it here. We explored other locations, but in honor of him, this was the best option that we could see under the circumstances. As was already mentioned, there are a lot of artists, big artists, names, The Green, Maoli, Common Kings. You know, these are national artists, have all come together, volunteering their time to pay tribute. And many of them have a special place in their hearts here at the Waikīkī Shell. We wish it was bigger, but it's sentimental that the concert be held here. Yeah. I think we knew it would go quickly. It was mentioned earlier that it was just a matter of seconds before the tickets were gone. So it was overwhelming response, which was really shows why this was such an important thing to do to honor this man, his legacy, and what he leaves behind for us today.